matters though, because a youth apprenticeship is the school saying, hey, take this kid, we want them to work, and we know that they're gonna show up. If you have bad attendance here, we can't vouch for you that you're gonna show up to work. The process is you fill out an application, you create a resume, you create a cover letter. Mrs. Fuller helps you with that. If you want someone else to look at it, you can always send it to me. And then you go through an interview process, and then you hopefully get hired somewhere to work. As a dietary aide or CNA or farm tech, wherever it would be. Lots of us students have worked at Bone and Joint, Aspirus, the former St. Clair's Hospital, which is now, I don't know what it's called, Aspirus something or other.
Yeah.
I think Aspirus like absorbed it.
Yeah.
All the different nursing homes in the area. We've had them at the Young Drug Store. We've had farm techs there. So, I'm going to show a video, hopefully it works, and hopefully we have sound, and Mr. Richard can hit for me here. If you might recognize this face, this is Keely McCauley. She is a former Wausau West student. She's a current NTC student, and will probably be transferring to, I think, Oshkosh at some point to finish out her BSN degree. Keely started out as a youth apprentice here at West. She is still local. She is currently, she worked at a few different places. I think when she was at West, she was at Wausau Manor. And then, after high school, when she started at NTC, she had a job on campus, and she got another job, and she worked at North Central Healthcare as a CNA. They liked her, they trained her, she became a behavioral health technician, and she gets to do all kinds of cool stuff there. But this is a video that NTC made, highlighting Kaylee and her path through CNA.
I already had an interest in the healthcare field just because junior year I was taking like health occupations, medical terminology, young adult medicine, and so when they had people who were my age coming in talking about their experience working as a CNA and doing YA, it actually started to seem like it could be feasible for me to be a part of it too. Just knowing that I could work as a CNA while also going to school, it reassured me that this was something that I wanted to do and that I could do. Just because you get your foot in the door, like doing this work, because CNA work is the basis of nursing work, and so that's the degree I'm pursuing here at NTC. When I first started off as a CNA, I was just like any other CNA. I was super scared, you don't want to mess up, you're not sure if you're going to do everything right. And now 2 years later, I'm actually one of the primary trainers for where I work, and I help new CNAs get acclimated with the facility and also help them with their skills. And so just to have started off, at the bottom and like worked my way up, that's been really awesome to me, just to see that I had the capacity to do that.
So talking about starting at the bottom and working your way up, how many of you have a job at the moment? Any job? Maybe it's babysitting, maybe it's something else. Okay, it's almost everybody. I do encourage you to get a job at some point, whether it's the summer before you move to college or the summer between junior and senior year. That is a start. So it doesn't have to be a youth apprenticeship, but getting a job, having responsibilities, having to answer to somebody other than yourself or your parents or your teachers. That's building your resume, that's building your skills, that's helping you prepare for that next step. If you're a junior, a youth apprenticeship is a great way to open that door to next steps. And what it might do is tell you that you hate healthcare, and that's okay, that's valuable. How many of you volunteer? Anybody have a regular volunteer job? Yeah? In back.
Firefighting?
You volunteer firefighting?
Correct.
Where at? Which town?
Village of Maine.
Okay, perfect. Are you interested in becoming a firefighter?
I kind of already am, so yeah.
Are you interested in continuing that?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
think you want to go and get like your fire medic certification?
No, I'm not into kind of that more EMS based side,
Okay.
so.
Good for you, that's awesome. Where do you volunteer?
I volunteer at the animal shelter.
At the animal shelter, excellent. Are you interested in working with animals someday, or you just like volunteering with them?
I just volunteer for college and stuff.
Good for you, that's awesome. If you're interested in healthcare and you have never ever worked in a healthcare environment, you haven't volunteered in a healthcare environment, please do so. When I was a high school student, a super long time ago, as a junior, everybody keeps asking you, what are you going to do with your life, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I'll just become a nurse, right? Even then, a super long time ago, there were lots of nursing jobs. I liked people, I was a good student, there's jobs available, fine, I'll become a nurse. So that summer, I got a volunteer job at the hospital in town. I'm from Appleton, so it was one of our hospitals. and I became a summer volunteer. I got trained, I got my TB test, I got my polo and my badge, and I found out that I would be working in the post-surgical unit. And my job was to go around the unit, go into people's rooms, bring them fresh water, bring them fresh linens and towels. Maybe if they get a delivery, I was supposed to bring their flowers, do that type of stuff, open their drapes. Very, very simple, benign, that's not even really healthcare type of job, right? I hated it. After the first week, I told my mom, I can't do this, I need to quit. And my mom, being a strong mom, said, well, you can't quit, you have to do this all summer. So I had to do it all summer, I hated every moment. I realized that I couldn't stand the way a healthcare facility smells. I couldn't handle the sounds in a healthcare facility. I liked people, but I needed them to be healthy and fully dressed. I couldn't handle seeing people in pain in hospital gowns. If I wouldn't have had that experience, I would have gone into senior year, applied to my colleges, gotten accepted, started at a college campus, and I wanted to go to a four-year campus. I was a UWK. So I would have started at a four-year, done 2 years of general education before getting into a nursing program, and realized as a junior in college that I was not a fit for that type of a career path. Please take time to check those things out now. It's not too late. Summer after senior year is not too late either. Do something so you know that you will like that environment. I am thankful that I did that, so I didn't enter that path. I've always worked with people, just in a different way now. Even being a youth apprentice, you might do some things that are kind of benign and you're like, oh, is this really that important? But when I had my second child at Aspirus, my CNA the day after, because we had an agreement she couldn't be there the day after was a WSOS student who was a youth apprentice. And I had to talk with her when I knew I was going to the hospital, and I said, Michaela, if I'm in labor, you cannot have the nursing station send you down. This is too weird, you can't be in the room with me, but you're welcome to be there afterwards. So she was my baby CNA after he was born. She was taking my blood pressure in the room while I had my family there. I wrote the best letter of recommendation to that young lady. You can do awesome things in an apprenticeship or a volunteer position or a job. All right. So we talked a little bit about a path and what you guys can do to kind of explore what's out there. Seniors, you have a semester left, you've already chosen your classes. If you happen to drop something and you want to take something else, see if there's a career and technical education class that's available or an elective class that's available like this. Check out those classes. I'm glad you're in Health Hawk. That's awesome. And you guys have to do a job shadow. I didn't even mention job shadows, but I will. Check out those classes. See if it's a good fit. Even if it's not healthcare. If you're like, oh, maybe I really like numbers. I want to try accounting. I hate it, but try it. Try it. Give it a shot. Volunteer. We just talked about that. Apply for youth apprenticeship if you're eligible and interested. Job shadowing. Has anyone shadowed before? Oh, a lot of you. What have you shadowed? Or who have you shadowed?
Dentistry, Ned Markey at First Impressions.
Yep, he's my son's dentist. Hey. So are you interested in going into dentistry?
Not anymore, not because of the job show, just because dental school is now a lot more expensive than it used to be.
It's super expensive, you're right. In the back.
My mom's a PA and I sat in her office for a day.
Awesome. And what did that make you think?
It's increased my interest.
Great. Somebody else raised their hand. The Dimension Unit? Awesome. And what did you think about that? It's hard, huh? Yeah. It's an interesting place, isn't it? Yeah, good for you. Job shadowing is free. Doesn't take much time. It might be just a couple hours. It might be a whole day. It's something you guys can do and get excused from school to do it. So you can talk to your counselor. You can talk to a teacher and see if they can help you set that up. I think the Career Center should have some type of a form that you would fill out to get excused from school. But you can go sit in with somebody and find out what their job is like. There are some jobs and some activities of jobs you won't be able to see because they're too private. There's patient confidentiality. So if you want to become a psychologist, well, a psychologist isn't going to let you sit in with a patient, right? But you can do an informational interview with that person, meet them in their office, learn more about their career, talk about their career path. We have had students shadow all kinds of things. Vet techs, nurses, ultrasound technicians, dentists, So really, there's great options out there for you to try out a career. And that's, you're not doing it, you're trying it out through watching someone else do it. And then tour colleges, explore apprenticeships, talk with college reps. How many of you think that you'll be doing some type of education after high school? Your career path will need something. Maybe? Okay. I want you to use your resources. You have lots of things at your fingertips. You have your phones, you have your computer, your tablets, your computers. You don't have to call anybody. I know that's awkward. Go on websites. Check out admissions pages. There are virtual tours on almost everything now, especially after what happened when the pandemic started. Talk to college reps when they come here. Do you guys get emails or is there an announcement when people are here? Yep. See those folks. You might not want to, but they record who they see. So if you stop in and see a rep from UW Green Bay, they're going to say, oh yeah, Carol Pond saw me at Wassa West, I remember that kid. And then your app comes in. And maybe your app is on the bubble. You might say, yeah, but they took the initiative to talk to me and they had really good questions, I'm going to put it through. You want to talk to reps, it's important. They're not scary. If you talk to them and you don't have enough information afterwards, you can always call their office or send them an email, but it is worth it to talk to those folks. They probably are either in the Career Center or the counseling office when they're here, but take time to meet with them. Do you guys have questions on this stuff before I wrap up with another video? Okay. I'm going to show you that video I skipped. It is one that has been updated over the years. I don't want this to offend anybody. It is a video about how not everybody needs to go to a four-year college. Does that mean that you don't have to? Absolutely not. But it is a video to show that there's value in getting other types of education after high school, and that our economy only has so many jobs available for people that have a four-year degree, and so many jobs available for people that have a two-year degree, and etc. So I am going to play that for you. Mr. Richard is going to play that for me. You're awesome. Whoa. Yep.
There is a widespread belief that the job market is just waiting for hordes of ambitious, eager young graduates to slide into high-paying jobs in the corner office. They just need to go to college, right? Well, the data tells a different story. Charts like this imply a correlation between higher income and additional education, showing on average that a person with a university degree earns far more money than the average person without a high school diploma. This reliance on averages and perceived higher earnings for having a four-year degree has fueled a college-for-all philosophy, causing educators and parents to encourage going to the university, any university, to major in anything in pursuit of social mobility and financial prosperity. This belief has increased college and university enrollment to an all-time high, resulting in 66% of high school graduates in this country enrolling in higher education right after high school. That's 2 out of 3. The problem isn't that we need more students to attend college. The problem is too many students who enter are not completing. For most college students, it takes too long and they simply lose interest. Others are juggling too much, or they discovered they picked the wrong major or attended the wrong institution for them. Since most students are told a university degree guarantees a higher salary, many delay their career planning until after college graduation, resulting in 62% of students reporting they feel disengaged because they don't see the connection between their coursework and their future career. And so today, only a quarter of those that initially enroll will finish a bachelor's degree. You see, our educational system is very well intentioned, but incredibly misaligned. The pendulum has swung too far towards college preparation at any cost, and away from skill attainment. We even encourage a college-going culture as early as elementary school, with university pennants decorating second-grade classrooms, and we spend an exorbitant amount of time in high school getting into college. Education is core to our economy, but in order to guide our educational systems and maximize future income, we must understand this misalignment between education and our workforce. At some point in recent history, we have transitioned from asking the more important question of what knowledge and skills do you need to be employable and to contribute to your community, to now simply asking, where are you going to college? When in reality, not every degree is direct preparation for employment. With rising education costs, a shrinking job market, and the oversaturation of some academic majors in the workforce, graduates take positions that do not require the education they have received, and often with debt they cannot afford. In fact, this misalignment between degrees and job skills causes half of university graduates to be underemployed in what are called gray-collar jobs, and 33% of college graduates are still underemployed well into their 30s. We know that success in today's world depends on aligning a student's academics with both their skills and available job opportunities, yet there is growing evidence of a skills gap in which many Americans are not receiving the essential skills that are needed. Recently, a survey was conducted to find out if the skills found within the local workforce match the skills that employers need in the new economy. We found that employers experience difficulty finding applicants with strong technical skills, as well as problem-solving skills, applied math skills, and basic technical training. Unlike 3 generations ago, having hands-on skills and perfecting what you're good at can be more valuable in today's economy than getting a degree in something simply to get one. In fact, when hiring, business leaders say a candidate's knowledge and applied skills in a specific field are more important factors than where the candidate went to school or their college major. The economy and the world have dramatically changed. In 1960, when taking into account all jobs in the American economy, 20% required a 4-year degree or higher, 20% were technical jobs requiring skilled training, and 60% were classified as unskilled. But what's the right percentage to meet the labor market demand for tomorrow? Georgetown University predicts only 33% of all jobs will require a 4-year degree or more in the future, while the overwhelming majority will be highly skilled jobs requiring professional and technical training at the credential or associate's degree level. The true ratio of jobs in our economy is 1 to 7. For every occupation that requires a master's degree or more, approximately 2 professional jobs require a university degree, and there are over half a dozen jobs requiring a 1-year certificate or 2-year degree. And each of these technicians are in very high-skilled areas that are in great demand. So while most jobs in the future will require some education and training beyond high school, the majority of occupations will not require a bachelor's degree or more. It was the same in 1960, the same in 2000, and will be the same in 2040. Very well intentioned, the recent college for all rhetoric is often misinterpreted as university for all. This message needs to be significantly broadened to a post-high school credential for all. Students at various educational levels have left school without essential skills, setting up our children for failure, costing them and taxpayers millions, all while the labor market is desperate for highly trained, skilled technicians. One of the essential purposes of education should be to help students develop the knowledge and skills needed to search for and obtain work that they find satisfying. Fortunately, today's students no longer need to decide between higher education or career preparation. It's possible and increasingly necessary to achieve both. So how do you position yourself for satisfying in-demand jobs? Let's say you were considering a career as either an electrician or a business manager. You would find that the average annual income for electricians is $53,000, only about half of the $99,000 average wage for management occupations. So at first glance, it looks as if getting a bachelor's degree in business is a no-brainer. But adding skills and ability into the picture adds a whole new dynamic. What if you have the potential to become an excellent electrician, but lack the skills and ability to be an excellent manager? Then you should be looking at projected incomes towards the bottom of the pay scale for managers and towards the top for electricians. You would then discover that electricians near the top of the pay scale make around $90,000, far higher than the income of a manager near the bottom of the pay scale at $44,000. Now, this is just one example, but the concept is true throughout all industries. The claim that you will make more money with an increased amount of education is not necessarily inaccurate, it's just incomplete. That advice is based just on the averages, but no one is perfectly average. Everyone has unique skills, talents, and gifts. Truth is, the income for the top individuals in a wide variety of technical jobs is far higher than the average income for occupations requiring a 4-year degree. Nationally, associate degree earners range between $29,000 and $76,000, while bachelor's recipients earn between $37,000 and $102,000. But this data only accounts for the 25th percentile to the 75th percentile of full-time adult workers. This means 25% of associate degree holders earn more than $76,000 annually, while 25% of bachelor's degree holders earn less than $37,000. Our world has changed, and the university degree is no longer the guaranteed path towards financial success as it was for previous generations. And even if you do earn one, that education alone may not be enough. In today's highly technical, knowledge-based economy, employers want to know what you can do, and what you can do well, not just what degree hangs on your wall. And new and emerging occupations in every industry now require a combination of academic knowledge and technical ability. One without the other is insufficient. We need to ensure we're providing students with all the essential skills required to be competitive upon graduation. So before enrolling in classes or deciding what you're going to do next in your life, step one is self-exploration. Take multiple assessments and really analyze your talents and strengths. Step two is career exploration. Understand the jobs available, the income ranges they pay, and evaluate both the knowledge and skills they require. After researching all the possibilities, then engage in career planning by setting a flexible career goal based on your personality and abilities and not just your interests. This doesn't have to be what you want to do for the rest of your life, just set a goal of what you want to do first. Only then can you develop a skills-based education plan, including your tentative career goal with multiple education and training options both inside and outside the classroom. This could include community college, military service, a university, volunteering, registered apprenticeship programs, industry certifications, or gaining work experience. There are multiple paths to success. This is especially true if you're entrepreneurial. 77% of students want to be their own boss. And creating good jobs while rebuilding America's middle class hinges on the success of small businesses and startups. The new secret to success is to create ample opportunities to explore and hone one's skills and to choose an initial career aligned with who you are. This alignment will help ensure one's position at the top of each pay scale. For the sake of our students, our families, and our country, we can't afford to get this wrong any longer. The time has come to redefine the goal for our students. Is the goal simply graduation or degree attainment? Or is the ultimate goal a relevant education to secure a well-paying career where they are both fulfilled and competitive in today's fierce job market? To ultimately secure a competitive advantage in the new economy, all students need a rigorous general education combined with applied technical skills, industry-recognized certifications, and specific preparation for employment. Will they be ready?
Again, I'm not saying don't go get a four-year degree. There are probably many of you interested in a career path that require it, right? Mr. Richard wouldn't be sitting here today if he didn't go through a four-year degree program. But a lot of that holds true, even though we're in a crazy economic time right now with lots of job openings. We don't really know exactly how the economy is going to react to the pandemic. We don't exactly know how education systems are going to react. But it is true that you need to think about what you like, what your skills are, and where they can be applied. When I mentioned that my job changed recently, when I was in high school thinking I wanted to work with people, and I said to my mom, I think I want to teach, and she said, you should really consider teaching. I was like, oh God, I could not handle being with high school or middle school or little kids all day. And after I went through college and I got an English degree, not knowing what to do with it, and then I did AmeriCorps Vista, I worked in a library, and then I went back and got my education master's so I could work with college students, and then eventually ended up here working with high school students. I loved it. And I ignored somebody who said, this is a skill of yours. So when people say something to you, hey, I think you're good at this, hey, this is a strength, listen to it, write it down. You don't have to act on it, but maybe just keep that in your head, because you might need it at some point. My job now, mostly, is writing grants. I've written 62 grants since January for the club. And what I'm doing is telling the story of kids that come through the club and what they need. And I'm also still doing some mentoring as well.